Hi, my name is Lindsay. Have you ever felt a need to just grab your phone and just check your notifications that are popping up in the top? Constantly checking the internet, seeing what's going on, feeling the sense that you need to know what is happening at all times, or you feel left out of the loop, you feel left out of the social crowd. Even if you're checking it to see if anybody messaged you, to see if anybody's commenting on your stuff, seeing that you're so important to them. Is that ever satisfying to you? Do you ever feel, uh, fulfilled in your everyday life, in your personal and your social life? These are questions that are asked in the theory that I am about to explain next, which is the uses and gratifications theory. This theory basically states how media is used for attention, used for fulfilling those needs in your personal and social everyday lives. People running from their problems when they want to avoid an argument, avoid, their work problems or their life problems, relationship problems, anything that you could think of. Media is used as that filler to make them feel good about themselves. People that use it for attention is those people that are uploading selfies or YouTube videos all the time, trying to see how many likes and comments they can get, see how great they can be to their peers online, whereas it is different outside of the media. And people knowingly do it as well. Mostly the attention, they do it just to make themselves feel better. They use it for, their ego is a really big deal, and their self-actualization, a sense of belonging is a really big deal to them as well, and really plays a part in this theory, because using the media as a filler is something that you want to belong to. You are using your media. You're using your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram to make friends and be needed, and just being committed to somebody and opening up your communication. And with that, I would like to next talk about my article, which is a vision of uses and gratifications applied to the study of internet used by adolescents. This study was based off of two previous studies that were done in Texas on university students. The first study that was done was a study that was handed out to students that already knew about it, and the information came back really weak and result-wise. People were just saying how they just wanted to meet people and they wanted to look good in front of their peers and see what they thought about them, see if they can make new friends, which is a really big deal at university. But then the second study that was done, it was passed out to random to students, and it came back a little more with information than the previous one, because this one had people using it for events and fundraisers and getting new relationships, making those new friends, putting themselves out there to the world basically, and really, getting a sense of belonging out of it. With these two studies done, it got based off another study that got done in Madrid, which I am now going to talk about. This study was done at a secondary school. It was almost like a private school with students between the ages of 12 and 16. And then they also did it at a high school, which was between the ages of 12 and 17, to see how much they were using the internet, what they were using the internet for. They handed out a 23-question survey of what they used it for, whether it be entertainment, whether it be games, whether it be relationships, social networking, or job finding, or anything like that. They used it, and the results came back as the younger students are actually just more using it for games at the secondary school, because when they did their study, 95% of the students already felt confident in themselves, so they didn't feel the need to use social media to gain that confidence back, or to, need to fill anything in their personal life, because everything was already fulfilled to them. In the high school, it came back that people were using it for information or using it for entertainment. And there was a difference between this one because they mostly based it off of the female and male surveys. The female surveys came back as they were using it to find those new relationships, to make friends, to, try to belong into a crowd. And whereas the men on social media, they were using theirs to collect information, collect data, to just play video games and for entertainment. So there was a really big difference between it. Next, I would like to talk about the discussion that was made during the article at the end. Besides, they had discussed the reasons why the students probably use the internet for the reasons that they did, because the schools are so different between a public and a private school, and most of them are already using it for entertainment. But they also discussed how a family plays a really big part in a student using the internet too much. And what they said was, if they were basically in a good environment, in a loving home, that they are likely to use the internet often, but not in a sense that they needed to fulfill their everyday needs in that personal and social way. And, they compared it to a single parent home, which people seem to use the internet more because they needed that companionship, they needed to belong to something because they didn't have that extra parent there all the time. Lastly, with my discussion, I would like to conclude my speech with asking you again, why do you feel the need to use social media? And just thinking about how that satisfaction actually works for you. The uses and gratifications theory really gives us a reason as to why we use social media, or we use the media in general. And the article that I just discussed, A Vision of Uses Gratifications, applied to the study of internet use by adolescents, really plays, really made up for, why we do use it and all those studies that were done. I'd like to end my discussion by challenging you to actually pay attention next time that you pick up your cell phone or open your laptop and see how much time you actually do use, on the internet, and what you could be doing instead of those, fixing your problems or making a new friend that's sitting next to you on a park bench somewhere. Alright, thank you.